Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Only four students are there. Hello, am I audible? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's start with the themes. Okay, I guess we had complete the bank account question in the last slide, right? Okay, first let me share my screen. Okay, so today we'll deal with this question, 16 number question. Okay, so I'm pasting that question over here. Just refer the question and try to understand. Then we will start. Okay, you can share your views. Okay, try to think on this question.
Ma'am,
Yes.
At first created two class
Hmm.
like dm and dv. Then dm is stored in distance and meter, and another class is feet and inch.
Okay.
Then after, that, okay, class only. Then after read the input read an class object,
Okay.
and add and an object is dm's adding function as class dm with another
Okay.
object dm by keeping following mind.
Okay.
First is
And
friendly, and
hmm.
friendly function is carry out the addition.
Hmm.
After the object is so, and then after the result restore dm or db class object. That's it.
Okay, perfect. Good, good, very good. So what we are doing over here in this question, that first thing, don't do the and don't start the implementation directly. First try to think on it. First try to solve it by the simple method, then go with the next one, right? So first one, that is create two classes, that is dm and db, which can store the distances. Okay, so first of all we have two classes, that is dm and db. Okay, now first can store the distance in meter and the centimeter. Okay, correct. Now the db will store the distance in feet and inches. Okay, now we have 4 unit of distance we have. Okay, with us, that first one, that is meters and centimeters, second feet and inches. Okay, now write a program that can read the values for the class objects and add one object of dm with the another object of db. Okay, so the concept which we are using over here in this question. Okay, so which concept we'll use or we can use? Okay, which type of logic we need to implement over here? First, we need to deal it with the classes, member functions, and variables. Okay, and second concept, that is object. Okay, so can anyone give me the logic name which we had discussed that topic in the class? That we have to add two objects, right? So how can we add that two object data? First, the object of dm class referring the meters and centimeters. Second object, that is db class object. Okay, and that db class object contains the members or data of feet and inches. Okay, now I want to add that both. Okay, perfect. So we need to use the pass object as the function argument. Okay, whatever the data is stored into the dm object and the db object, we need to pass it to the another function. Okay, now if we passed that to the another function, okay, so make sure that your db object is belongs for db class and dm object belongs from the dm class. Okay, so now if we want to add the two variables of dm and two variables of db, how can I add it? How can I add it? One more concept we need to implement over here. When we need to add the two different two different variables, which is from the different classes. If I want to access that variables, which type of concept I need to prefer?
Friend function.
Perfect. Other student, any idea? One is the friend function. Any other?
Function overloading.
Yes, you can write, you can use the function overloading, but the function overloading contains the same class functions, right? It cannot access the other classes variable. Okay, so we will use the function concept over here. Okay, so two things we need to use. First, pass the object as argument, and second, make one function friendly so that it can access the both the objects of dm and db as well as the data of my variables dm and db. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I'm making one skeleton for you. Okay, program skeleton. Okay, first of all, we have two classes. First, that is dm, and second, that is db. Okay. Now, if we want to use this class, okay, in the same program, what we have to do, we need to first declare our classes. So that same like our function, if we have two classes, we need to declare that classes, okay. Batch. C batch, na? Okay. Now, in both the classes we have some functions and we have some variables. Okay, so first we'll deal with the dm class. So class dm, in this class I have some variables. Okay, see, I'm giving you the sample code, right? I'm not giving you the entire code. Okay, I'm giving you the one logic. If you have another logic, you can implement. So meter, centimeter, and one variable which is going to store the addition of my meter centimeter. Okay, and in the public section I require one, you can say, method which can store the data into m and c. Okay, void read. What it will give you, so it will take the data into the cm and meter, centimeter and meter. Okay, they didn't mention that you have to assign, right? So if they didn't mention and I am writing something like enter meter, it will allow me. Okay, so see in meter. See, if you want to take it in the void main, I am okay with that. No any issue, right? This is user defined function, so you can work accordingly. Okay, those who understand with this question, they can start creating the question. Okay, but make sure you have to use one user defined function that is known as friend function. Okay, now we require to use friend. Why? Because if I'll not use the friend function, then the other class, that is db class, right, I cannot access the feet and inches variable of my db class, right? So that's why I need to use one friend function. Friend, the return type is integer, function name addition, and it can take two arguments. Okay, so make sure whenever I am using two arguments and the friend function, right, I am dealing with the object, right? Because they need to make sure that you have to add two objects. Okay, they were mentioned over here. Sorry, I'm doing one thing. Okay, we have to complete this. Add one object of DM with the another object of DB. Okay, so we need to use one object of DM and object of DB. Okay, this is one class. Now class DB. Okay, okay, I'll give you the logic also what we need to do. Okay, in this class we have to take the data into feet, inches, and some variable. Okay, so I can store the addition in this. Okay, one more, that is public. Required to take data, that data from the user, right? This is in the feet and this is in the inches. This is for F and this is for inches. Okay. Now we require one friend function. Okay, so that it can you can say the take the data. Okay, and one common friend for both the classes. Okay, and out of this class I am mentioning the friend function. Okay, make sure when I am defining my friend function, okay, I am writing the definition of my friend function. No requirement to write the friend keyword. I am directly starting with the integer addition and both the object. Okay, now what is the actual logic over here? Okay, so here I am preferring the object of bb class, comma, object of bb class. Okay, whatever the values are stored into this object. Okay, so dm object can refer the meter, centimeter, and some. Okay, this is from the dm classes, dm object, and dp class can refer the feet, each, and some variable. Okay, I can access these 6 variables in this friend function. Okay, now what you have to do? First thing, you have to add the values with each other, right? Say for example, enter meter equals to 1, enter centimeter equals to 1, enter feet equals to 1, and enter inch is equals to 1. Okay, now I have this many things with me. Okay, so whatever the value user will enter, okay, so what I am doing, I must have to store it into the sum equals to meter plus centimeter plus feet plus each. Okay, and the sum will prefer the or it will give me the answer in meter, total meter, how many meter. Okay, and next what I am preferring, I am adding everything, but I am preferring the answer, or I want to store it into the feet. At 1 meter, 1 centimeter, 1 feet, and 1 inch is equals to how many feet total. Okay, addition of this, but I can't directly add it. Okay, okay, I'll give you the logic, but till now any doubt in this question what we have to do? Yes, any doubt in this? Yes, Arfat, see. I don't know what we have to do. Okay, we just need to add the values of meter, centimeter, inch, and feet. Okay, I want to store it into the meter. That if I am writing, I have 1 centimeter, 1 feet, 1 inch is equals to how many meter, and I must have to print it in the feet also. That I want to print that if I have 2 meter, 2 centimeter, 5 feet, and 3 inches, then how much it into the feet. Okay, the total distance I want, that from my home to that location, I have 1 meter 35 centimeter 6 feet and 8 inches, and I want to add the every values, and I want answer into the meter only, that total how many meters I have. Exactly. We return the addition as meter or as the feet. Okay, and this is the base you want to do. This is the base. Okay, that one, you have to take that four values from the user, you have to add it. Okay, but whatever the variables value is stored into this m and cm, I cannot access using the db class object, so that's why I am preferring one friend function. And whatever the values in feet and inches, I must have to add it with this, because I want answer in meter. Okay, that's why. So that is the common friend of both the classes, and that friend function, this addition function, right, can access the values of meter, centimeter, inch and feet. Okay, yes. Hmm. Okay, but you can directly not add it something like this, that 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 4. No, this is wrong. Okay, first you have to convert now, that 1 meter equals to how many centimeters, 1 centimeter equals to how many feet, and if everything you need to convert, that 1 centimeter equals to dash meter, or you can say how many meter, because I want answer in the meter, right? Now 1 feet equals to how many meter, 1 centimeter equals to how many meter, and 1 inch equals to, what is the answer in meter. Okay, you have to multiply na. Say for example, I have 2 3 centimeter or maybe 30 centimeter, 10 feet and 12 inches, right? I have this thing, so you need to convert it into this, uh, 1 centimeter, no, 30 centimeter, that means how much, how many meters, 10 feet and 12 inches. Okay, first you have to clear with this. Got it? Now, any doubt till now? Any student? Okay, perfect. Hmm. Okay, I have that count. So it is, if you want to refer, and I'm okay if you can find it from the Google also. This many things. Okay, that 1 meter, that means how many centimeters and all this. I have that 1 inch is equals to 0.0254 meter. 1 feet is equals to how many meter? 0.3048. Because you have to multiply, na? Directly you cannot write. And 1 centimeter is equals to 0.01 meter. Okay. And if I have, you can say 3 centimeter plus 1 feet, sorry, 12 feet plus 12 inches is equals to, I want answer in meter. Okay, so you have to convert it into multiplied with 0.01 plus 12 into 0.3048 plus,
Ma'am,
yes, what are you doing?
from centimeter to meter, it will be, I think, division, because you are going lower to upper, isn't it?
Centimeter to meter, sorry.
It will be division, right? When you are converting centimeter to meter.
Hmm. So what I am finding, I am first finding that 1 meter, that means how many
Ma'am,
meters
I'm
we
saying
have
that it will be division, not the multiplication, when you are converting centimeter to meter.
over here.
Yeah.
But if I am
Hello,
dividing it with the
hello, ma'am.
Because
0.01,
we,
yes, 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 Krishna.
Yeah, Arafat, you can convert. It depend on you. You can convert anything way.
Yes,
You can convert anyway.
this, yes, you need to convert either in a meter or centimeter for every conversion. That either you are converting it into the meter or centimeter, or maybe into the inches or feet.
ma'am, I'm not
Okay.
saying that. I got your point. I'm saying that when you're
Mm.
converting to the meter, so you have to
Mm.
divide the centimeter, because you are going to lower to upper. Like centimeter is the lower part and meter is the upper part. So it will be division in the centimeter part.
Okay, okay, I'll let you know what I'm doing. Don't worry. I'll remove this. Okay, convert it by yourself. I'm not doing anything. Okay, then give me the answer. See, I want to give you the one logic, and you have another. You can use it. But one thing I must have to mention over here is that means one, you need to convert it into the either meter or centimeter, and second, you have to convert it into the feet or inches. Okay, I have one program with me. The expected output and the expected input I am trying to show you over here. Okay, just wait, it will run. Okay, so this is concentrate over here what you are doing over here in this code. First, enter the distance in meters. I am entering 1 centimeter, 1 feet, 1 and each is 1. It will going to give me the answer in meter as well as in the feet. Okay, so the total distance in the meter is this, and total distance in feet is this. Okay, now logic you can apply by your own. Okay, understood? Expected output, 1 unit from the dB class and 1 unit from the dm class. Yes, done.
Ma'am, freedom.
Hmm? Oh, no worry, Arfat. No worry. I'm because how many centimeters we have? 3, right? And then we have to multiply it with another na. If one I can divide with the 1000, right? So that means it will give me the 0.01. Okay, but if I have 3 centimeters, then I have to multiply it with the 3 na, that 3 multiplied with 0.01. Okay, that is the thing. Those who can't understand, they can just verify the question over here. Okay. So till now what I'm doing, I'm just taking the 2 variables from DM class and 2 variables of from the DB class. Okay. That is entered by the user. Now what I'm doing, I'm just initializing one object DM is OTJ1 D1. That's right. OTJ DM. And one object of DB class DJ DB. Okay, now I have 2 objects. And at the time of function calling from the friend function, I am passing that way object. Okay, so when I want to pass that object, I must have to define the class name. So the class name is DM and the object name is whatever you want to give it. I am giving the object 1, comma, that is DB class and object 2. Same over here. DM class object is A and or you may write obj1 and the DB class object that is obj2. Okay, now first user will enter the values, so I have to call that read function. Okay, so first I'm calling the obj dm dot read function. The user can enter the values. Obj db dot read. Oh, done, Matthews. That question is completed. Okay. Okay, then try to implement the question. You can say return the object, returning the object. Okay, passing the object as function argument, and you have to return one object from the function. Okay, demo question. Whatever the things you want to implement, you can implement. Okay, but the concept is returning the object. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm calling the friend function. So no requirement to write down the object name. Directly I can write addition. Whatever the object I'm passing, it can be referred by this function, right? So I am passing the function, sorry, object this. Now come over here. I cannot write something like sum equals to meter plus 3.04 multiplied with centimeter, right? I cannot write like this. Why? Because which sum variable from which class I can refer. Okay, so I don't have that values. So I must have to mention it with the object dot value. Okay, first I am dealing with the meter. I want to convert the every values into meter. So meter is from the object one dot meter. Okay. Now obj1 of meter variable, I need to add it with which type of variable? So you can say first whatever the values user will enter into this feet. Okay. Accordingly, I need to multiply it with the convert it into the meter. So if I have 1 feet, then I how much meter I have? 1 feet 0.3048. So 0.3048. Now whatever the values I'm preferring over here, that is 3 feet if I have. So 3 multiplied with 0.3048. Okay. Now I'm dealing with the inches or maybe centimeter. First deal with the centimeter. So centimeter is from the DM class, right? So I need to refer the object one. So object one of centimeter. Yes, is there anyone who wants to say? Gloria, just mute yourself. Okay, but whatever the centimeters I have, if I have 50 centimeters, right? So I have to convert it into the meter, right? So 51 centimeter is equals to 0.01 meter. Okay, so the 30 centimeters multiplied with 0.01, so it will give you the answer into the meter. And now deal with the inch. Okay, so inch is variable referring from the object 2. Okay, so obj2 dot inch. If I have 5 inches, okay, so 5 inch, 1 inch equals to how many meters? So 5 inch multiplied with that many values. Okay, so that is 0. I guess 02 something. Yes, 0.025. Now it will give you the answer into the meter. This is for conversion into the meter. Okay. Up into the feet. Okay. I am taking it into the meter, or you can take it into the, or you can do it for centimeter also. Okay, and here I am doing for the feet, or you can do it for the inches. But you need to take 1 unit from the DM class and 1 unit from the DB class. Okay. Now the object 2 dot sum. Okay, I want to take it into the feet. So feet plus. So if I have 1 meter, then it is equals to 3.2808 feet. Okay. So this now 1 centimeter equals to 0.03280 feet. And now which one is 1 each? That is 0.0833. Okay. This is the unit. If you want to refer. Okay. Any doubt? Bring the code with me, or any confusion, students? Yes, any confusion? Okay. Then what if we use this way? Yes, I must have to do this conversion into the float. Okay. Otherwise, it will give me the maybe. Okay. Here, what are you doing? You are doing the. We have two types of conversion, right? As we had discussed at the time of type conversion. Exactly. This is to change to fit. No. This float is requirement to convert it into the float type. Okay, whatever the values you are using over here, this is float, right? So whatever the multiplication you are doing over here, it is going to be converted into the float. Yes, this is typecasting. We already got this on emitter. We have to do it. What about the question? I can't understand. This float is using for the type conversion, right? You got the answer in meter, but while you are using the float, this kind of conversion, it will give you the multiplication, whatever you are doing in this bracket, into the float type. Okay, so it will give you the answer in float, and you are storing it into this. This is for object 2 dot sum. That means now I am referring the object number 2, which is from the DB class, and I can store it into either feet or inches, not it into the meter. Okay. One is for converting the either answer into the meter or centimeter, and another is converting to the either inch or feet. Okay. Okay, the concept I want to showing you is over here is this, that we can refer the object of DM also, and we can refer the object of DB also. So it is going to store into the meter, which is from the DM class, and here from the DB class. Okay, correct. Now Matthew is clear. We already got the answer in meter. Yes, you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. What I want to say is we have already got the summation in meter, right? Then by using object 2, we are going to return that summation in feet.
Yes.
Right? So in case of adding all numbers again, what if we use the summation that we have got in meter? What if we convert that summation to feet?
This
We
summation
have
will
already,
give me, yes, now I got you. This summation will give me the answer in feet, right? So I am trying to
yeah.
explain you the new concept, which is you can say that using this friend function, I can store the value into the DM object variable or into the DB object variable.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the concept is I'm trying to explain you is that here I'm storing the values into the object of a variable of DM class, and here I am storing the value into the another variable which is from the DB class, right? So whatever the concept you want to use, you can use it. Okay, so this is for the example purpose. Okay, now those who have complete the question, they just write down over here so that I can verify. Okay. Now whatever the values I am referring over here, I need to mention it into the file. Okay, now what I am doing, and converting it into the float. Okay, sorry, into the feet. So now object 1 of meter variant float multiplied with 3.280 plus meter centimeter. Now centimeter is also from the object 1. 1 dot centimeter multiplied with 1 centimeter is equals to 0.0380 feet. Mention it into the and last one inches. Inches from the object 2, right? B class object. So not inch multiplied with not which value 0 0.8 0.0833 0.0833. Okay, here what I'm doing, just printing it on the screen. Let's see how. Okay, done till now. Okay, how many of you have already completed this code? Okay, so you are asking for this float. Okay. Okay, this is user defined casting, right? Sorry, implicit and explicit casting we had discussed in the lecture time, right? So if we remove it, then also it can store. Why? Because I'm defining the all variables into the plot. Okay, that's why. But so this is one kind of logic. Okay, so if you have another logic, and if both will give you the same answer, you can omit this float. Okay. It may be sometimes something like your centimeter and meter is into the integer and your sum into the double, right? Sorry, float. So at that time you have to convert it into the float. Okay, so that's why I'm using this. Okay, so how many of you have completed with this question? Just write down over here those who have already completed. Krishna 1, Matthews 2. Other students? Okay, I'm giving you the time, no worry. Take your time. Okay, so if we'll run this code, it will give me the output. Oh, my screen sharing is stopped. One 1.3402. Maybe it is correct. So meter is equals to 1, 3.048 plus 0.01. So 0.3148 and 2 plus 3, that is 0.34. 2 plus 1 equals 2, 3 plus 1 4, 8 4 12, 1 590. So it's 0.3402 plus 1 meter. So 1.3402 correct. Okay, and here the answer is 3 plus 3, 8 plus 3 plus 0 and 1. Okay, 1, 2, 0, 8, 3 and 2. 1. So 1 plus 1. So that is 4.4013. Correct. Okay, total meter is this. Total, sorry, this is not meter. I have to write it feet. Okay. Is there any error in the question or in the program? Other students? Okay. Other students? Any error? Are you facing in the code? Or you need extra time? Just write something over here in the chat. Other students require extra time to complete the code, or shall we move towards the next one? Am I audible? Okay, okay, okay. Give 5 minutes more. Okay, no worry. You can do.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, I want to tell something about the programming language.
Hmm.
Ma'am, in our whole year, like that involve the duration of the BTech session, 4 years, I have to learn many languages like C, C++, Java,
Hmm.
.NET,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
PHP, everything.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
ma'am, um, within this all of this programming language, what
Hmm.
what should I learn for my career? What do you think?
Oh. Uh, See, Krishna, this is totally dependent on your choice. That means some of the time, some of the students are very much clear with the basics of C and C++, right? So the concept, so the fundamentals of the C and C++ language is that much clear with the student's mind, right? And then that student can be clear with the Java concept, the concept of the Java, because that is also one kind of object related things, right? So whatever the things you are implementing in the C and C++, that are the basics of your incoming languages. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I from my first
Mhm.
semester I start to learn Java.
Mhm.
So I know
Mm-hmm.
Java, core Java, and advanced Java, Servlet, JSP, and
Okay.
I am I think I am very good in Python also in machine
Okay.
learning.
So
So,
okay.
ma'am,
So Krishna,
I
huh?
am very much confusion within this everything. That what should I follow? Actually, I'm doing. I want to be a data science. So, in but in my session, in my whole year, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any Python programming language or machine learning big as as much as I want. That much
Mm.
no in my this 4 year.
Okay, okay, okay. So Krishna, how can you aware with the Java? Because you practiced Java first, okay? And before Java, did you learn C and C++?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I when
so
ma'am when I
Krishna,
came here, yeah,
yes,
ma'am. Yes, yes,
yes. So the thing is what, that once you are clear with the basic thing, right? Then and only then you are clear with the Java. Now, once you are clear the concept of Java, right? Then you are very much clear with the Python concept, right? Because
yes,
Python
ma'am.
is, huh? So that is the thing, that you are interested in object related object concept creation like languages, okay? So the fundamentals and the basics of that language is required, right? That much knowledge you have. So if you want to implement that knowledge into the Python or Java, you are very much familiar with that and you can do it, okay? So
Ma'am,
whereas
actually,
in the
ma'am, yeah,
Mhm,
ma'am.
mhm.
Tell me, ma'am.
Okay. Whereas in the PHP and some of the concept related with the web designing, that is C sharp and other subjects, right? It is also basics starting from the C language. Okay, that
Ma'am,
how can you bring the
ma'am,
things?
ma'am, actually, ma'am, I hate the founded language like PHP, HTML, JavaScript. Even I hear this name, I was very angry, and ma'am, I'm not like to do this like PHP,
Okay, no
JavaScript, and
worry,
everything.
Krishna. This is totally depend as I have suggested now, that it is totally dependent on the student's mind. That some of the students are very much interested in the web designing, right? So they don't like the C and C++ because the web designing is depending on the other fundamentals, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So some of the times, or you can say more or less, it is dependent on the student's perspective. That one to one, it may be changed, right? So it's some kind of, you can say, the views of students' nature. That yes, I must have to, or I am interested in this type of language. So you are very much clear with that concept, like Java as Python, or maybe in the future you are using the Android also, right? So you are familiar with that language. So that's why you are very much clear with the concept of that language, right? So it's
Yes, ma'am.
more or less dependent on the student's perspective.
Ma'am, I think, ma'am,
Hmm,
in my
hmm,
next
hmm,
semester,
hmm,
whatever is coming, so I just
hmm, hmm.
want to read or want to learn for the passing the exam. That's it, ma'am. Otherwise, if I learn it clearly, in clear way,
Hmm.
so I I forgot my base like in Python or machine learning things.
Okay, no, no, Krishna. It's don't you can say put the things in your mind like this, right? So that I just want to pass the language or subject, right? Because if you are trying to score, right, it's not like that you forget the basic. That we are using the Hindi language, Gujarati language, English language, right? So this is also
Yes.
one kind of language of computer. So if you learn English, you forget Gujarati or Hindi? No, you cannot. Right?
Ma'am,
Something
ma'am,
like this.
ma'am, I think you know very well what is the difference C++ and Java. Ma'am, I learned Java the difference way. Means that when I want to create an object, I use the new keyword in Java. But here is simple way, and in friend function is not available in Java. So, ma'am, at that time I am very much confusion. You know,
Okay,
I
it's based upon the sometimes of language also, that it is providing the, you can say, the inbuilt library, right? So no need to use that function. Okay,
yes.
so it's based upon the functionalities which will provide, or you can say the platform. Yes, so platform will provide you some kind of you can say facilities. So no need to
Yes,
use
ma'am.
that kind of fundamentals over here. And if here in the C language you don't have the class concept, so you need to use
Yes,
the
yes,
structure, you need to use the other things. Okay, but once you are facing some problem in that language, like
yes,
C,
yes,
right? You are come up
yes,
with the C plus plus, na?
yes. Ma'am, in
Hmm.
.NET also same concept, right? Like Java
Hmm.
and C++.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, ma'am, in my 4 years, can I get any Python course? Yeah,
Uh,
Python language?
if you are
No.
interested, you can use the Python wherever the other options are available. That if you want to implement the projects in Python by your own, you can do it, no problem in that. But you must have to be clear with the languages which is coming up in the semester also, right?
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. So that is the boring
Okay.
subject, ma'am, to me. That
No,
is the
no,
boring.
no. This is not the boring, Krishna. See, that's why I'm telling now that it is dependent on the student's perspective. So if you are imagine something like, yes, I do it with the other languages also, that I want to learn something new from this language, at that time that state of mind will change. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Okay, so back to the pavilion. Language discussion, healthy discussion. Okay, so now I guess, okay, Arfat, some of the questions from Arfat. Yes, Arfat. Okay, then when we are using the friend function, then it's breaking the data encapsulation of my class, which is breaking the method of object-oriented programming. Yes, at the time of friend function, I had told you that yes, this is the, you can say, violating the rule of data hiding. So I have mentioned you at that time that whenever the strict requirement is there to use the friend function, then and only then use the friend function. Otherwise, do not use the friend function concept. Okay. So when you want to give the strict security to your data or hard security to your data, and the data hiding is the main basic of your program, at that time don't use the friend function. Okay, but some of the times we have that requirement to do something like we have completing over here, right? So at that time I require to use the friend function. Okay, so this is the exceptional case in your you can say the data hiding process. Which technique can use to make a program in real life? Huh? Which technique can use to make a program in real life? In real life, that means what? So as per your requirement, you can use the concept of C++. Okay, that if you are using the concept of friend function in the bank related question, right? At that time, you cannot use the friend function. Otherwise, data hiding is not present in that step. Okay. Okay. Now I guess you all are completely clear with the 16 number question. Okay. So now we'll move towards the question number 17. Okay. Before 17 question, I just want to ask some question related with the constructor. Okay. Now we will move towards the next question. Okay. Any question related with this 16 number or 17 number question? Okay. No question. So okay, we had discussed some concept related with the construct. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the basics of constructor? Okay, you can write it in the chat.
Constructor is one kind of a special function which is having the same name just like in my class, and it's going to
Okay.
give me the fixed initialize values, so that
Okay.
when we need to call one function again and again, so that we don't have to change the values, we can use it as if.
Hmm. Okay. Good. Other students, I am giving you the time. Don't worry. Recall the question and recall the, you can say, the concept, and then write the answer over there. No return type. Perfect. Any other than this? Can I use my constructor concept in the inheritance? Yes or no? Can I use the concept of constructor in the inheritance? Yes, we can use it, Shikhar. But the thing, how can we use that, we will discuss it later, right? But we can use the constructor concept. Okay. Now, can I use the default argument things in my constructor? Okay, perfect. Overriding. It's method overloading. Okay, default is the main for. Okay, so you can say that if I want to use the default value, and if I want to set the default value for my constructor, can I use it? Yes. So we had discussed two types of constructor. First, that is default constructor. Okay, so what is the difference between default constructor and parameterized constructor? Okay, no arguments in the default constructor, and with argument list is known as the parameterized constructor. Okay, good. Now second thing, uh, if I want to use my constructor in the class. Okay, so in which section I need to you can say use, or I need to declare that constructor in which section, either private or public? Yes, public. Okay, using object and dot membership connector, can I call my constructor? Using the object name dot membership operator and my constructor name, can I call my constructor? Oh, no, you cannot. We can call the constructor, but we cannot use it with the dot operator. Okay, we cannot call it like object name. We can pass the argument. Yes, we can pass the argument, but using the object name dot membership operator and my constructor name, I cannot do this. Okay, is my constructor, you can say we have two types to call the constructor. Okay, if I am defining one default constructor in my program, okay, we have two types, we have two methods to call that constructor. That name of two types are known as implicit and explicit. Okay, if a user is going to mention the constructor in the class or in the program, then that method is known as implicit or explicit. User is already implemented default constructor. Okay, that is known as explicit declaration of my constructor. Okay, and if user will not, then implicit. Okay, so implicit constructor is called by dash compiler. Perfect. Okay, yes, perfect. Clear with the you can say the fundamentals. Okay, now just try to implement one question. Try to implement one question for the demo of default constructor. Okay, then we'll move towards the next one. Demo of constructor. Okay, one program of constructor. Okay, default constructor. No need to use the parameterized constructor. Okay, we'll see it, but just try to implement the demo of constructor. Okay, try to complete it by yourself. We had already discussed that things. Yes, class name and dash. Okay, you have to implement that in your code. Okay, design one class which can include one default constructor and use it in the program. Okay, done. Just wait till other student complete. Okay. Okay, no worry. Just wait. I'll give you 5 minutes to complete the code. Okay. We had already discussed in the class. Okay, just let me share my screen for the example. You can understand it well. Okay, this is the small example of your default constructor. Okay, try to implement it and then we will move towards the next one. use of constructor. Yes, you can say that. But in the constructor overloading, if we want to use more than one, you can say the functionalities, or you want to assign some values to your variable differently. That first time A variable equals to this, B equals to this, and next time if I'll call that this is working for the default value, right? So at that time you need to use the default, sorry, you can say the constructor overloading concept. Okay, we'll discuss the constructor overloading also in the class section, because this is same like your normal function, but some of the characteristics are different. So you can say that the constructor overloading is also one kind of working like your function overloading. Because this is also based upon overloading is every time based upon your signature, right? So whatever the parameters you are going to pass into the constructor argument, based upon your constructor will work. Okay, so the 17 number practical is in your self-study, or you can say you are implementing this 17 number question by your own. Okay, we'll discuss it in the next lecture also, the 17 number, right? But till that, try to implement it. Okay, so what they are suggesting over here, that write a program to calculate the number of objects created for the particular class. Okay, so I guess we had discussed this question in the class section at the time of static member function concept we had discussed. Okay, using that static member function concept, what we are doing, we are just statically declare one member variable. That member variable is common for every objects or common for my every function. Okay, so whatever the value I'm changing in that static variable, your value is or you can say the copy of that variable is passed to your every object. Okay, so from first object, if I'll call that function, or if I'm calling or if I want to print the value of that variable, it will give me 1. Next time if I'm incrementing and calling with the another object, it will give me the 2. Okay, so likewise we had discussed that question in the you can say the class. Okay, so this is the one logic you can say. Okay, but till that I'm giving you the time to complete this 17 number question. Okay, I'm giving you the demo of that question over here.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, suppose if I call this function by the by
Hmm.
one object two times,
Hmm.
so then it will also count to two objects.
Two object, yes, it is also same like this. That's why I'm giving you now that this
Okay.
is a one logic. Okay, so it may be some problem, then and only then we can move towards another logic.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, okay, good question. First try to implement it for the one logic, that is as I'm giving you the static member function logic. Okay.
Sound.
Okay. Yes. Okay, try to implement like this. Your static function can access the static variable, okay, of your class, and from the main, at using whatever the objects I am calling the function, at that time my this variable is incremented with one, right? Using object one, if I'll call it with two times, right? So it will increment it by two. But right now, just try to implement with static, right? Then we will discuss it with the another logic. Or if you have any another logic, then just discuss it over here.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Krishna.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hmm. You are not audible.
Hello, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, I implement something, counting the
Yes,
object.
you can share. Uh, just wait, I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay, now you can share. Okay, yes, other students, if you have another logic to implement the same code, you can use it.
Hello, ma'am. Can you see
Hmm.
that?
Yes, yes, I can see it. Hmm. Scroll down. Okay, it will
Yes,
give you the
ma'am.
output.
Ma'am, every like that.
Okay, run your code. Hmm.
The last one is.
For every new object you are calling. Yes.
So, ma'am, if I want to,
Okay, some error or
ma'am,
hmm.
if
Hmm,
I
hmm,
want to
hmm.
restore the last one, I have to create the another function, like you, the show total object. So I declare my last one.
Hmm.
You-
Okay, just close it.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, just close it. I'll give you the.
Okay, here, ma'am.
Okay, no, this is for your
Non-static.
integer count
Yeah,
equals to 0.
yeah,
Initialization in the
yeah.
class, right? That's why we
Like
didn't prefer this method.
this method. Yeah, ma'am. This is not the solution, ma'am. I'm just
Hmm.
implementing that way.
No problem. So in the place of count plus plus, if you will use plus plus count, then what it will give you?
Sorry, ma'am.
Instead of count plus plus,
Yes.
use plus plus count,
Okay. So plus count, ma'am. It will,
incrementing with 1.
yes, before.
Yes, this is pre-incrementation.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay,
it will store the more value.
more than 1.
Yeah. Ma'am,
Okay.
I can I do that? Of course, ma'am. It will be good, but sometimes when I want to use count again, like that,
Hmm.
if if I want to use count here,
Hmm.
so
It
no,
will
ma'am.
not. It will not give you
Yeah,
the
yeah.
perfect answer. Yes.
Perfect answer. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. I just want to recall the concept of pre-incrementation and post-implementation, right? So
Okay,
other
okay.
students can clear with that. Yes, we discussed this topic also in the C language, right?
Yes,
So that's why. I'm recalling the new the concept which we had already discussed, right? Some of the times that's why I'm using the same program one and more time. That class ABC, this is the private section, this is the public section, and all those stuff, right?
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good.
Can I stop, ma'am?
Yes, yes, you can. Okay, so what about other students? Complete. Okay, so try to implement that concept also that we had already discussed. Okay, don't forget that topic, that if I'll use plus plus count and count plus plus, what is the difference between that two? Okay, if you didn't initialize it with the 0, then it will give you 1 2 3, otherwise it will give you 0 1 2, something like this. Okay, so before incrementation, if you want to print the values, it will give you the other thing. And after completion, or you can say the post increment, if you want to use post increment operator, it will give you the one increment before storing. Okay. Hmm. So it will first initialize and then use, or pre-incrementation. That means first use and first initialize and then use. Okay, something kind of the concept is. Okay, so complete the question or till still you need time? Okay. Want extra time to complete the question? Yes, I'm asking to you students.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm giving you the 5 minutes more. Okay. Okay, so you don't forget the concept of static also. That we have static variables. Back to the code once. Okay, I didn't complete the whole code. Okay, because we had already discussed this code. Some of the things you need to keep in mind. This concept is static member function. If you can recall the concept, that means in that we have one class named as test, t1 t2, two objects. If I'm calling with t1 and t2, it will give me the 1 and 2, and if I'm calling it with the t3 object, it will give me the 3 count. Okay. And static function is the function which can access the static variables in the code. Okay, whatever the values are present here, you can access it using this static function. Okay, if you want to print the value count, you can use it because this count is static. Okay, and in the static function I can use this count. Okay, so instead of this, if I'll write plus plus count, then what is the output? Okay, so that's how I know. You can write it something like this. If setwell is not called in the main, right, this setwell, okay, it will, how it will going to increment the value? It will not going to increment the value, and it will not, if it is not going to increment, how we can store it into this variable? And we cannot access a variable over here. So that means it will not give you the output in a perfect manner. The main task of that setwell
Hello,
is
ma'am.
incrementing the count variable. Yes, Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, without set bell, can I count within this static function how many objects we have created?
Over here,
Good. Yeah. Without the set bell function, can I count
hmm,
through the show count function how many objects I
something
created?
like this, something like this. You want to do something like this?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I use my a variable in the
No,
static
no,
function? So
no.
how
You
can I
can't.
do
You
this?
can't. You can't.
Hmm. Right. That's why I'm doing this. So this your static show count function is the static type of function, and as we had discussed in that static, so we can use the static variables in the static function only. Okay. So if counting how many setwell, this function is called not object created. Yes, this is as I have suggested now, that this is the one way. using object one, if I'll count, if I'll call this 2 times, right? Something like this. Okay, so it will give you that you are creating 2 objects, right? But now I'm calling with the same object, but it will increment it with 1, so I can access that. Yes, I'm assuming that yes, you are created 2 objects, but now I didn't created any 2 objects. Okay, so that's why I told you now that this is the one logic which we had discussed. Okay, and we are just recalling that concept over here, that static concept. Okay, as that's why I'm telling you that if you have another logic, then give me the answer. Yes, you can use the array concept. You can use the array of object also if you want to implement and if you want to check. Right. So you have the too many concepts, but you have to think that which concept I need to use it over here. Right. So just think on it. First, complete the same question over here. Right. Using this static on. Then we will discuss the another logic if you have. One logic is Krishna has suggested us that using that object only call one time. Any function call one time using one object at a time. Okay. Yes. Just write down your enrollment number over here. I hope everyone is doing the code with me, right? So no one is facing any error in the code. Good.
Hello, ma'am.
Krishna.
Ma'am, in my code there are many drawbacks, ma'am.
Yes, I know that. Using the same objective file called 2 times.
Yes,
Same function. So
ma'am,
it will give you it is creating the 4 objects instead of 3.
yeah, ma'am. On the other side, I am using integer I inside the class. Sorry,
Class. Yes.
inside the function, not private. On the other hand, I use count as a private. So, ma'am, this is many drawback, ma'am.
I know, but once you are facing any error in that code, then and only then you can identify that yes, it will not work perfectly. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
As I have told you that some warning is there, and that warning is for the initialization, right?
Yes.
So that's why we are come up with the constructor of
Yes. Yeah.
concept.
Yeah, ma'am. Can ma'am, in this program, I can use the constructor. Then it will be good.
Just wait, Krishna. Sorry, just repeat your sentence one more time.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
within the help of the with the help of the constructor, I can use.
Hmm.
I can.
Okay, you can.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, you can use the constructor concept. I'm okay with that. If you are aware. Hari, so yes, ma'am. By the way, it's better if you share us a code through our email. Okay, so see, I can share my code, but don't copy and paste the entire code as I have provided to you. Okay, so this is for the reference purpose. Yes, Matthews, you can do this constructor concept. You can implement that. I'm okay if you are aware with that concept. Okay. Okay. So if you want the program, Harisu, just mail me so that I can replay my code in that same mail. Okay. And Shekhar is also want the program of bank account. Okay. So if you want that question, then just mail me that I want this question, so I can share that question with your same mail. Okay. And see, I'm sharing the code. That doesn't mean that I'm providing you the entire code. Okay. This is for your reference. Okay. As we had discussed so many times that this is the reference code. Okay, if you have another logic to implement the things, you can use that logic, because this is user defined function. So whatever the functions you want to use it, you can use it, but that achieve the goal as they were mentioned in the question. Okay, now, so 2 to 3 things we need to keep in mind over here is this. When I am using some static variable, so keep in mind that only the one copy of that static variable is shared among the every objects, right? But if I have this integer a right in the private section, as well as if I want to access that integer a in my program using the object, make sure this a is going to refer by object one is different and object two is different. Okay, the value of that a. But if I have static, that means the for entire program for the every object is the same copy of my question, sorry, the variable is shared among the all the things. Now, what is the static function? As we have static variable, we can also use the static function in my class. Okay, now what is the use of this static function? We can access this static variable inside this static function. Okay, and now if you want to call, and if we want to implement this static function, keep in mind that you cannot use this a inside this. Okay, you can use this count variable inside this static void show count function. Okay, yes, I am writing this code inside the class. If you want to write the code of void set value outside of the class, I am okay with that. Okay, but make sure that you are going to use this cop resolution operator with that connection. Okay, yes, now okay, okay, so before that, yes, over here in this question we had discussed this two class concept with the friend function. Okay, and as well as we had discussed this small example of constructor in the class. Okay, this is the parameterized constructor, and if I'll remove this, this is my you can say that default constructor. Okay, now in this if you want to call this parameterized constructor, sorry, if I'll write integer a comma integer b, that means this is known as something I'm writing over here inside this. Okay, so this is known as constructor overloading, right? As we have function overloading concept, same name with a different argument. Okay, so this is known as your function, you can say overloading, but here it is with the constructor, so we can say that this is the construct overloaded constructors. Okay, so overloaded constructor, that means same name with the different argument. Okay, as well as one more thing we can implement over here, right? So if we want to use the object as a function argument or as a constructor argument, if we can implement that concept also, that if I have one friend function inside my class. Okay, and if I want to use something like complex, that is constructor name and variable name, right? So we can implement that concept also, that something like so this is also overloaded constructor. Okay, inside the class, if I want to use a friend function, right, friend function over here, then I have constructor with me as well as the friend function also, right? We can implement this also. Okay, so make sure that when you are overloading some functions, it is going to known as function overloading, and this is overloaded constructor, same constructor name as my class name, as well as you can say that the overloading. Okay, with one argument and with two arguments. Okay, So the same name with different arguments. So parameterized constructor, default constructor, or in both in the same code, this is overloaded constructors. Okay. So till now, any doubt? Any student? No? Okay. Okay, so here we have completed till the 17 number question. Okay, one logic of 17 number question we had discussed. Okay, another logic, try to find it. If you are, if you can find, okay. If you can't, we'll discuss it in the next session. Okay. Okay. Yes. So you may leave the session. Thank you.